So you're together?
As you can see.
Very pretty.
I don't know what else you'd expect. After what we both received this morning, you bring an action for divorce. Irene is the respondent, and I, it appears, am the co-respondent. Surely your decision takes away any rights you once possessed?
We'll see about that.
Yes, we will. What do you want?
I came to give you one final chance. As for you, you're a Forsyte as I am.
Oh, sir.
Oh, is that so humorous? Whatever you may have been in the past, you are now a man of substance and standing. 50 years old, you're a successful painter, an associate of the Academy, hung on the line. Whether you like it or not, you have a reputation to lose. You have a son, I believe, in South Africa, and daughters old enough to appreciate scandal and feel shame.
Shame?
I, too, have a reputation to lose, but understand this. Now, understand this, Irene. If you two don't swear to keep away from each other from now on, I won't spare you. I'll divorce you with every possible mark of disgrace. Right, leave her alone. Irene, will you swear to this?
No.
You?
Still less.
So you're guilty. You're both guilty.
Yes.
You are the devil!
Get out of this house, Holmes!
And you're a thief, a trustee.
God help me, Holmes!
Stealing another man's
Don't
wife.
get out of
I'll
this
make you
house.
pay for this.
Certainly. Any sum you like.
I hope you'll treat him as you've treated me.
All right, my dear. It's all right, it's over. I apologize, I lost my temper.
You did well to lose it.
Yes, but I feel sorry for him. He's possessed. Still, we progress, don't we, eh?
Do we?
50 years ago, that might have ended in a brawl. A century ago, it could have been a duel. Who knows? 50 years from now, such matters will be settled over a cup of tea. Come on. Let's go out onto the terrace. The air in here is not what it was. And Irene, thank you for that good lie.
And thank you, dear beloved Joe. Before this night's over, we'll make it the truth.
More, please. Please. Ah, thank you, thank you. All right.
Regret to inform you, your son died of enteric fever, June 20th. Deep sympathy.
Oh, to die out there, alone, without me, without any of us. Better to die cleanly in battle. He was just 20 years old, Irene. He had no life. No life at all.
Now, James, you'll catch cold. Why can't you wait quietly?
In the wait time, always waiting. Why doesn't he come?
Now, don't fuss, dear. You can speak to him tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Always cock-a-hoop. I may be dead by tomorrow. Maybe he won't come at all.
Well, if he does, I'll bring him up. If he doesn't, you won't catch him by making a guy of yourself out on the landing.
You see, he's here.
Oh, well, that's all right. Now, come in and I'll brush your hair. You know you like that. Come along, dear. Sit down. Ah, dear boy.
Oh, there you are.
Father? Mother?
I've been waiting.
Oh, you look better.
No. I want to say something. I haven't told your mother.
Your father's been in a great state all evening. I'm sure I don't know what about.
I'm getting on, Soames. Nearly 90. That age, I can't tell. There'll be a lot of money. Who'll get it all? Val's out there. His precious father's got to be watched. He'll get what he can. No doubt somebody'll pick up Imogen, I shouldn't wonder.
Oh, if that's all.
No. No, it's you, my boy. You ought to get a divorce. Don't know what's become of her. Say she's abroad. Your Uncle Swithin used to admire her. He was a funny chap. She wouldn't be alone, I dare say.
Come now, James. Soames knows best.
But there's all my money, and his too. Who's going to get it? When he dies, the name goes out.
There are other Forsytes.
As if that helped me. She'll be in my grave. Unless Soames marries again, nobody.
Yes, you're quite right. I'm getting a divorce.
What? Nobody tells me anything.
My dear boy, this is a surprise after all these years.
It'll be a scandal. I can't help that. Don't brush so hard. When does it come on?
Before the long vacation.
Yeah.
It's not defended.
Shan't live to see my grandson.
Of course you will, dear. Soames will be as quick as he can.
How did you know I was here?
Well, I'll tell you. When you're not with me, I feel lost. And suddenly I didn't feel lost anymore. It's as simple as that.
Simple flattery, that's what you're going for. And I'm simple enough to believe it.
How did the shopping go?
As it always does here. When in Rome. I haggled for half an hour over a piece of lace. Didn't buy it in the end and came away with a dozen handkerchiefs for you.
Well, I don't need any handkerchiefs.
No, but it's very good for you to be giving things now and then.
Why?
Because you're a giver, not a taker. A non-Forsyte. I love you for being that.
Well, that's good.
Yes, but there's a danger, even in virtue carried to excess.
Danger?
Of course. You might become smug.
Never.
Oh, yes, even you. Joe, I love you.
Yes, you do, don't you? You most certainly do. And it never ceases to astonish me.
It shouldn't. You're a lovable man. But when it comes to giving things, the small things as well as the great, you must indulge me, Joe. Perhaps you don't know this, but since my father died when I was 15, I've never had the chance to buy presents for anyone I loved. Idiotic things like pipe racks and key rings and books about fishing. So if I bombard you with terracotta statuettes of St. Peter or handkerchiefs that you don't need, accept them and forgive me.
All right. I accept them and I forgive you.
Very well, then. No painting today?
No, not today.
Or yesterday?
Oh, I don't seem to be able to paint in Rome.
Other painters have been able to.
Yes, that's the trouble. Far too many and all too good at it. No, all I can do is sit in the sun and think.
About Jolly?
Yes, every day. Oh, and June, too, and Holly. That letter from South Africa this morning. Holly and Val Darty. They're married.
Oh. Do you mind?
Mind? Who am I to mind? But I hope he loves her. Holly needs to be loved.
daughter. Like father.
Who? Who did you say married?
Holly Forsyte, Joe's daughter.
Good Lord.
She got special leave. Well, I didn't even know they knew each other.
Well,
It's awkward, isn't it?
awkward with this case coming on.
Shall I mention it when I write to him?
Yes, you'd better. She may know already.
Well, you've seen her, haven't you? Is she pretty?
Yes, I suppose so. Slim, quite ladylike.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound so bad. But it is a coil. What would Father say?
No, he mustn't be told. Well, the war's nearly over. Val had better stay out there.
But I want him back. I miss him. He helps me to get on.
Yes, I know, but still... Well, he'd better take up farming. Well, that fellow will give his daughter money, I shouldn't wonder.
Yes. Well, perhaps for the time being. Soames, would you like me to come to the court with you?
No. No, Winifred. Thank you. But I'd rather go alone.
Never mind, dear. You'll feel so much better when it's all over.
I don't know what I did. I've never known. I was fond of her. Always was.
Poor old boy. It's been too bad of her all along.
Well, I've made up my mind about one thing. I'm going to retire.
From the firm? Law, but Soames, it's been your whole life.
Oh, no, Winifred. After this scandal's out, I'm finished with the law.
I don't see how you can do that.
It's done. We've amalgamated with Cuthbert, Kingston and Holliday. I've left my name, a sleeping partner, and my clients go with it. The new firm will be called Cuthbert, Kingston and Forsythe. For that, I shall receive a considerable sum.
But Soames, you've looked after things for so long, for all the family.
And that I can still do where occasion arises. And old Gradman can stay on as clerk, dealing with exclusively Forsythe matters.
After all this time, but what will you do with yourself?
Shall buy pictures and sell them. And keep the best.
Well, you've always had a flair for that.
Yes, I shall go on developing it. In time, I shall have a unique collection. And when I die, it shall go to the nation.
The Forsyte bequest. Splendid. Now that is worth doing.
Yes, I think so. First, there's this damnable divorce.
Will it go on for long? In court, I mean.
No. Now, those two, before they went abroad, left very clear evidence of adultery. Should last about half an hour. But in that half hour...
Yes, I know, dear, and I am sorry.
I'm claiming damages, substantial damages.
Soames? Is that wise? What do people say?
Oh, that I got a good price for her, yes. I know what they'll say if they're given a chance. But I've spoken to counsel, and he'll announce from court that the damages will be awarded to charity. To the blind. They should assess them pretty highly, wouldn't you think?
This case is perfectly clear. Adultery by the respondent has not only been admitted, but has been abundantly proved to the satisfaction of the jury. The petition is granted. Decree nisi in favor of the petitioner. The claim for damages against the co-respondent is admitted for the sum assessed by the jury.
Annette, is there anything of interest in the newspapers today?
Oh, a new restaurant opens in Dean Street. The Queen is not well, the Battersea murderer
Will
was
be
hanged.
hanged, and the décolleté will be lower, and the hips will be more slender. Huh. Annette, I'm going upstairs. I think I have the little migraine.
Oh, quel dommage. But the migraine, Maman, fortunately, it happens very seldom.
Okay.
Entrez.
Annette, good evening.
Good evening. You are a stranger.
I haven't wished to be. been busy. Where's your mother? I have some news for her.
She's upstairs. Shall I call her?
No.
Are you unwell?
It's nothing. A touch of the sun, perhaps.
Well, sit down. It will pass then.
Thank you.
May I get you something? A cognac?
No, thank you. Annette, sit down. I want to talk to you. I'm going to Maple Durham tomorrow for a long holiday.
Oh, to your house by the river? Good. You can rest there.
I'm going to write to your mother and ask you both to come down and spend a few days. The country's looking at its best just now. Will you come?
It will be very nice.
Annette, you know I'm a married man.
Oh, I imagine so.
Oh, why?
Well, few men of your age are not. And then you come here and look at me the way you look at me now, as if I'm attractive to you.
You are.
Yet you say nothing.
Well, up till now, there was very little I could say, but now You've seen the evening paper? I see. Well, you're discreet. I admire that in you. Well, there's no point in going into details, but according to English law, I can't marry again for 6 months. Now, when that time is up... Annette, I'm not a young man.
Oh, but not old.
No. So... what do I offer you? Wealth? I know you want that. A beautiful home, a social position, a life of security and leisure, children. Will that be enough for you?
I am honored that you should wish to marry me. May I have a little time to think?
Of course.
And to consult my mother.
I shall write to your mother, formally asking her permission.
You're very kind.
Then give me your hand.
Darling, this'll do for shoes and other oddments. Oh, by Jove, if we go on collecting any more rubbish...
Your fault,
look at
darling.
it.
If I admire something, you buy it. I've already decided to dislike everything in any shop from now on.
Well, I've got a better idea. Every time we buy something, let's throw something away.
Certainly not. We have had a spree, haven't we?
Yes, we certainly have. I was surprised for you. This has just arrived. Soames awarded the Queen Eyesight today. Stop. Have paid damages and costs. Stop. You are now stony broke. Stop. Regards to you both. Jack Herring.
What does...
Oh, no, my darling. He's only joking. I'm very far from being stony broke. Even if I were, it would be worth it to know that you're free.
At last.
Yes.
After all these years. I can't believe it. Joe, I don't feel any more free than I did yesterday. Or since that day when you told me you loved me.
No. You told me.
True.
Uh-huh.
But you've been telling me ever since.
In 6 months, we can be married. Will you marry me?
You once asked me a long time ago what I should do if I fell in love again.
And you said I should love.
And that's what I have done. Joyfully. Without regrets. So it's for you to decide, Joe. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
Irene, I'm afraid.
You? Afraid?
Because I'm a Forsyte.
But, darling, you said
please,
yourself you're only
please
half
listen.
of...
Deep inside me, like all the Forsytes, there's a worm. It's called the possessive instinct. I've tried to kill it, but it's still there. We're a breed of spoilers, close and greedy. If you marry me, you become my property. The law says so. Wouldn't it be better if you were to remain free? Come to me when you wish, go when you please? Am I to be trusted? Not to grasp and possess and finally destroy what I love most in all the world?
Yes, Joe, you are to be trusted. That's why I'm here. So tell me, do you want us to marry?
You know I do.
Then we shall. And Joe, no more anxiety. Don't ever have doubts again. Don't be afraid of yourself or of me. Freedom to come and go as I please indeed. No woman really wants that sort of freedom, not if she's in love as I am. Certainly not if she's going to have a child. Yes, Joe, I think so. I'm sure of it. And I'm so happy, my love. I'm so happy.
Did you say wounded, dear? Poor Val. Where was he hit?
In the leg, Aunt.
Oh.
Oh, it's not really serious.
Oh,
no, and Holly's nursing him, but he will have a limp.
Oh.
He wants James to buy him a farm out there.
A farm, Emily?
Oh, yes, but for breeding horses.
Horses?
But James is very doubtful.
Oh, and with good reason. Because if he doesn't buy a farm, then it can't turn out badly, don't you know?
And horses are rather uncertain, are they not? I'm sure dear Monty finds them so.
No, Val is different. He takes after me. Yes, thank goodness. Anyway, I think he ought to work at something. Oh, yes, in London it's amusing to do nothing, but out there, why, he'd be bored to death.
Oh, well, just so long as he doesn't lose anything by it.
Timothy, you know, did so much better by retiring.
Yes, and it's not as if they had no money.
Oh, no, indeed. James is giving Val $500 a year. Yes, and Holly is to have $800 from her father. Oh, well, Joe has fewer demands on him, of course. June's money is her own.
Oh, I would so like to see dear Joe again. Now that horrid divorce is over.
Julie, dear, you know that would never do. Whatever would Soames think, having been so kind to such a constant visitor?
Mr. Nicholas, ma'am.
Nicholas.
Well, how'd you do?
What a lovely surprise, dear. How nice, dear. We're always so glad to see you.
Well, my dear,
Dear Nicholas.
this war, it'll cost 300 million.
No.
If it costs a penny.
Good gracious.
Before they've done with it.
Well, then, as Timothy says, we shall have South Africa once and for all.
That's as maybe. I don't trust those Boers. Never did, never will. Yeah, you won't have seen the Times yet.
Oh, no, dear. Timothy keeps it till after tea.
There's an item there. Here, you read it to them. You've got young eyes.
Oh, Uncle, thank you.
In the marriages.
Marriages?
The marriages?
Oh, 2 items.
2.
Jolyon Forsyte to Irene, only daughter of the late Professor Heron.
Oh. Well, would you call that a true description of Irene?
Oh, really, Hester? Would you prefer to see her described as the divorced wife of Soames Forsyte? Then the second item, in Paris, Soames Forsyte to Annette, only daughter of the late Michel Lamotte.
Oh, dear, so married. Emily, Winifred, did you know?
Yes, of course, dear.
Oh, but how delightful. What is she like?
French. I don't hold with the French, never did.
Well, we haven't actually...
Oh, really, Swither?
Madam,
Well, what is it?
it's the Queen, ma'am. The poor old Queen. She's dead.
Good Lord,
is Uncle Nicholas?
Oh, I asked her.
Am I late?
No, sir, she is.
Ah. Your Uncle Swithin and I saw her crowned. Slim thing she was. Got very stout lately, didn't get about enough. And we saw her married to that German chap. He turned out all right in the end, but that son of his...
His Majesty, Uncle.
Ah, good old Bertie. Now, he's a sportsman.
They tell me this German emperor is here for the funeral. I shouldn't be surprised if he gave us trouble one of these days. Bombastic chap. Of course, German.
Oh, here she comes.
Come along, Uncle Nick. I'll get you a place by the window.
Thank you, George. I'd like to see the end of it all.
But, Hester, do you not think, after all... No, Julie. You know what Winifred said? The procession is not coming down the Bayswater Road, so it's quite useless for us to go to the window.
But I should like to.
Oh, very well. But you won't see anything. Nothing. Nothing at all, I assure you.
Oh, Hester, look. All those people.
Is it, dear?
Thousands and thousands of people.
Oh, how extraordinary. The park is full of people. They won't see anything either.
No, Hester, but they're there.
Oh, he shouldn't.
He really shouldn't.
All those persons with their hats off. If they're not careful, they'll catch their death of cold.
Well, Annette, take a good look. The passing of an age. You won't see anything like this again.
Soames, you see that lady? I'm sure she knows you.
No, it's a mistake.
What a lovely face. And how she looks. Elle est très distinguée.
Pay attention, they're coming.
How sad it is. Beautiful.
Well, James, you've got a capital view from here.
Thought you were never coming. Might have missed it.
Well, I had to talk to cook about the souffle.
Souffle.
Well, dear, you'll be the first to complain.
Shh, be quiet.
And with Soames bringing Annette to luncheon for the first time, I'm told the French are very particular about what...
Here she comes.
Huh?
Now you've got this chap Edward. Bertie, they call him. Say he's steady down, but I don't know. I can't tell. Make the money fly, I shouldn't wonder. Well, there it is. Anne, Jolyon, Swithin, Roger, all gone.
James, just listen to those drums.
I am listening.
Oh, no, dear, don't try to get up. You can see perfectly well from there.
Don't care to be sitting when the Queen passes by. Of worry and anxiety. Glad to be out of it, I should think. Don't you ever tell me where I'm buried. Shan't want to know.
Very well, dear. Now, we've just got time to get you tidy before they come. You must look your best.
What time are they coming?
At 1:30. They're calling in at Timothy's on the way to introduce Annette.
Yes, they say she's pretty.
Yes.
Annette, oh, you are so pretty. Almost too young and pretty for our dear Soames. But you'll find him very attentive and careful. And such a good husband. Well,
Damn it, George, you've got to admit it. That Fella Soames knows how to pick 'em, eh?
I don't know what they see in him myself.
All right. Well, she'll probably play him the same trick as the last one did. Yeah, but meanwhile...
Meanwhile, he's a lucky devil, what?
Yes, he certainly is.
And you, dear Soames, how are you? Have you quite got over that horrid divorce?
Julie, dear.
But it's quite ridiculous, you know. You can't possibly expect me to think of you as an aunt. Now, can she, Mother?
I'm sure there's no need to do any such thing.
I hope you will call me Annette.
Of course. After all, Imogen, I used to call your grandmamma Emily.
No.
Indeed, yes. Oh, it was quite the fashion for a few seasons.
Annette?
Oh, we mustn't monopolise it.
Well, do sit down. Well, Annette, dear, and what do you think of London?
Oh, I know London. I have visited before.
And, what part of London do you know best?
Soho.
Soho? Soho?
Yes, it's very French and interesting.
Yes, your Uncle Roger had property there. He was always turning the tenants out, I remember.
Soames, when do you go to Maple Durham?
Early next week. That is, if Annette has had enough of London and the shops.
Who could be interested in London shops after Paris?
Well, that is a matter of taste, my dear.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sure you'll both be very happy down there. And we're all so looking forward to the time when Annette has a dear little... Julie, dear.
We must be going. Father will be waiting.
Of course, we mustn't keep
Are you going to this luncheon?
Ah, couldn't get out of it.
How's the old man? Must be over 90.
Hey, coming up for it. I doubt if he'll stay the course, though.
I'll lay you evens he does.
You're on.
Monty?
Yeah, coming, dear.
I shouldn't mention Soho if I were you.
No.
No, I want you to meet the right sort of people, and the English are such snobs.
Yes.
Well, there it is. It doesn't do round here to let anybody know that you've been any sort of trade, however creditable. Puts a sort of label on you. You understand?
Oh, yes. It is the same in France.
Good. Good. Well, class is everything, really.
Oh, comme vous êtes sage.
Et vous êtes ma belle femme.
Oh, no, son. No. Ne parle pas français. That old aunt, Julie,
Julie?
what is she looking forward to?
Oh, God knows. She's always saying something.
My darling, Nurse Jenkins has arrived and Plunkett is feeding her tea and muffins. How are you feeling?
Very well, my love, thank you.
That's what you always say.
But I am. Don't you think I look well?
Calm and serene and beautiful as ever. I don't know how you do it. I'm as jumpy as a cat.
Joe, dear, you are not to worry.
Well, I can't help it after all.
After all, I'm nearly 38 and this will be my first baby. Is that why you're so anxious?
Well, I should be anyway,
yes,
but
I know. All I can tell you is that if I look calm, it's because I am. The long wasted years have simply fallen away. All through this last year when we've been together, I've just grown younger and younger. Now I feel about 20 years old. It's ridiculous.
It's an enchantment. That's what it is. We're under a blinking spell. Even me, disreputable old greybeard that I am.
Disreputable young bluebeard.
I shall ignore that remark, but on any other occasion I should probably beat you.
You see? Juvenile. Joe, when he's born.
You're certain, aren't you?
Of course. We shall have a son. And if you don't mind, darling, I should like to call him Joe.
And why should I mind?
After your father, whom I loved, and you, because I love you most dearly.
And because of Jolly, do you imagine I should care about that?
Perhaps.
I really, when grand people die, I mean people who make a mark on their generation, we put up statues to them. And usually very ugly statues they are, too. Now, I've never quite seen the point of this. Either a man will be remembered for his own work, like Shakespeare.
And Beethoven.
Yes, or not at all. Now, this is the only kind of immortality that I can accept. For the rest of us, I think we live on in the memory of those who loved us. When they are gone, we must die too.
Do you need anything more? I don't.
No. So Jolly lives on for a little while.
Through you and Holly and Val?
Yes, Val will remember him. Nobody of the next generation, because Jolly was, well, he was not permitted to have children of his own. But when I spoke of enchantment...
You were not wholly frivolous, were you?
No. Miracle would have been a better word. Because if we have a son, and we call him Jolyon, which we will, he'll not only be your child and mine, but in some sort of strange sense, he'll be the son that Jolly never had.
It was good of you to come. We've been longing to hear how it all went off.
Was your father pleased with his presents?
Oh, I'm sure he was, though he was very funny about it all. He said he couldn't think what all the fuss was about.
And why should people throw their money away on him? And what should he do with birthday presents at his age?
Oh, dear James, that is the point. He is 90.
The oldest of us all.
Now tell me, Annette and Soames were there, of course.
Oh, dear Soames, how well and happy he looked when they were here.
Yes, but Annette, imagine, she's only 2 years older than me. It must be awful for her married to Uncle Soames. I mean, when I get
Really, Imogen, your Uncle Soames is an excellent match for anyone. He's a very clever man and good-looking.
And considerate and careful.
I hope that you'll marry as good a man.
Miss Frances Forsyte.
Yes, how do you like her? Well, what do you think of it? Think of what, dear? Do you mean you don't know? Know what, dear? In the Times this morning.
Oh, don't be so annoying, Francie. Nobody's looked at a paper today.
Is it something dreadful?
Oh, do you think you ought to tell us? What was it?
Irene's had a son. No. At Robin Hill.
Oh, and they were only married in January.
Yes, Aunt. Isn't it interesting?
Well, I'm glad.
Oh, really?
No, I'm really glad. I was very sorry for Joe losing his boy. Might have been Val.
George was amusing about it. He's calling Joe the three-decker. Oh, dear. Well, on account of his having 3 families, don't you know? George is naughty, isn't he? Such a droll.
I wonder what dear Soames thinks about it. I know he so much wanted a son himself. A little bird has always told me that.
Well, you might as well know. Bar accidents, he's going to have one.
Oh.
Well, Doctor?
It's serious.
How serious?
The position is this. I can make pretty certain of her life if I operate.
Well, then you...
But the baby will be born dead. If I don't operate, the baby will probably live, but it's a great risk for the mother. A great risk. In either case, I don't think she can ever have another child.
We must get a specialist.
There's no time for that. If I'm going to operate, it must be done at once.
Well, then my wife must decide.
She's in no state to do so. What time does her mother get here?
Not till late tonight.
Then the decision must be yours. I'm going back to the surgery to get my instruments. But I'll be back within the hour.
Soames! Winifred, didn't you get my letter?
Letter? What letter? I've seen nothing for 2 days.
Father's very ill. He caught a chill 3 days ago and it's gone to his lungs. The doctor says there's little hope for him.
I can't leave here now. Not now. I can't.
What's happened? Annette?
She's in labor prematurely. And it's dangerous. Without an operation, she may die.
Oh, Soames!
But an operation will certainly kill the child. And she can never have another. Now, she wants the child. I know she does. She longs for it as much as I do. But Winifred, I have to decide. How can I? She's so young, no more children. All those years with nothing. Then there's Father waiting. Well, to decide between life and death, how can I? How can I?
Poor Soames. You have decided already, haven't you? Shall I stay here with you?
No, no, go back to London. I'll come as soon as I can.
Very well, dear. I shall give Father your love.
Winifred.
It's all right. I'm on your side, you know. I always have been. And I'll tell you something. Annette would risk losing you rather than lose her baby.
That's not...
No, that's my sister.
I've seen the patient. The situation is the same. Have you decided?
I have. Don't operate.
Not? You do understand the risk.
You said there was a chance.
A chance, yes, but only a chance.
And the baby must be born dead if you do.
No doubt of that.
And you still think that in any case she can never have another?
One can't be absolutely sure. Well, it's most unlikely.
She's strong. We'll risk it.
Very well. It's on your shoulders.
What's the good of that? Don't want to know.
Very well, dear. I'm sure there's no need.
I want to see Soames. Send for Soames.
We've done so, dear. Winifred has gone down to fetch him.
I want to see Soames.
Of course, dear. He won't be long.
It's over.
Over? What do you mean?
I mean that the child is born and your wife is alive. I congratulate you. It was touch and go.
Thank you. Thank you.
They'll both do very well. But it was lucky she had a daughter.
Daughter?
Yes. A boy would have killed her. The head, you know. Well, would you like to see them?
No, not now. I can't. I have to go to London. My father's dying. Is it all right?
When does her mother come?
About 9.
I'll stay till then. You may go with an easy mind.
Very well. Oh, there'll be some dinner. Ask for anything you want.
There now, Warmson. Don't look like that. What? We all come to it, you know. We all come to it. He had a very good innings. Better than most.
It's been a long time, sir, that's all. I've been with Mr. Forsyte a long time.
There you are, my boy.
How is he?
Going fast, but he keeps asking for you, worrying about something. Oh, what he's got to worry about.
Will you have a glass of wine, sir?
No, thank you, Warmson. Excuse me, Uncle.
Well, good night, Warmson. Mustn't keep the horses waiting.
Cruel. Here I am, Father. Soames.
What news? They never tell.
It's good news, Father. The best. Annette has had her child, And it's a son, Father. A son.
Is Soames here?
He arrived over an hour ago. This Englishman, incroyable. Doesn't he want to see his child?
To be emotional is bad form, Mama.
Bad form.
That I have learned.
Does this not distress you?
There is no hurry. He will come.
Huh. You grow just like him.
I think perhaps, Maman, it is better that I should.
Ah, the baby is adorable. Your wife has been waiting for you.
Forgive me. My father died in London. Did you know?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Well, how do you feel?
Not so bad now. But I suffered terribly. I suffered. There will be no more children. Did you know? And I'm glad, Soames. I'm glad.
Well, I must feed you up and make you strong again.
Don't you want to see the baby?
Yes, of course. Very much.
She's asleep. Elle est adorable, n'est-ce pas? Ma petite fleur.
Fleur. You'll call her that. Fleur. Mine. This is mine.